Good morning, class. In previous video we had discussed the different methods, and we had just started the survey method, in which we had completed the concept of survey method and the personal interview and the combinations of interview. In this section we will start from the questionnaire interview or the questionnaire survey. So the questionnaire is the most common, simple, versatile and low cost self-report methods of collecting information. It consists of a predetermined set of questions. The respondent has to read the question and mark the answer on paper rather than respond verbally to the interview. They are in some ways like highly structured interview. Questionnaires can be distributed to a group of persons and at a time who write down their answers to the questions and return to the researchers, or can be sent through mail generally. So two type of questionnaire are used in the questionnaire, open ended and the close ended. जैसे कि पर्सनल इंटरव्यू में देयर इज अ ओपन एंडेड क्वेश्चंस एंड द क्लोज एंडेड क्वेश्चन, एज द सेम द क्वेश्चनियर सर्वे it has also the open ended questions and the close ended questions. So with open ended questions, the respondent is free to write whatever answer he or she consider appropriate, and in the close ended type the questions and their probably answers are given and the respondent is required to select the correct answer. So example of close ended questions require responses like yes, no, true, false or multiple choice, or using a rating scale in which there is a highly agree, disagree or the undecided, this type of categories in the rating scales. So in case of rating scales, a statement is given and the respondent is asked to give her his view on the 3-point or the 5-point scale. The 3-point scale like agree, undecided and the disagree, or 5-point scale it may be strongly agree, undecided, disagree, strongly disagree. This is the 5-point scale, as like the 7-point and the 9-point scale also, and the 30-point scales also. So in some cases the participants are asked to rank a number of things in a preferential order, and the questionnaire is used for collecting background and demographic information. So informations about past behavior, attitude and opinion, knowledge about a particular topic, and expectations and aspirations of the person. So sometimes a survey is conducted by sending the questionnaire by mail, and the main problem of a mail questionnaire is poor responses from the respondent. So what is difference between these two, the personal interview and the questionnaire survey, the personal survey or the questionnaire interview? So basically in personal interview there is a conducting a interview in a verbal manner. There is a unstructured or the structured, which means the open ended or the close ended, but the question are asking at the verbally. Okay, but in questionnaire survey or the questionnaire interview, the respondent give their response in a written way, in a selected manner, not verbally. So this is the basic difference between these two. There are also open-ended and close-ended question, and in the questionnaire interview also the open-ended and the close-ended questions. Okay, so these are the two types. Now last one is a telephonic survey or telephonic interview. So basically survey are also conducted through telephone, and nowadays you must have seen programs asking you to send your view through mobile phones, SMS. The telephone survey helps in reducing time. However, since the respondent do not know the interviewer, the techniques is fraught with uncooperativeness and reluctance and superficial answers by the respondent. So these are the basically a limits of telephonic survey. There is also a possibility that those respondent may differ from those not respondent. Okay, so on age, gender, income level, educational level, etc. So besides their psychological characteristics, this will lead to very biased kind of results. Okay, so basically the telephonic interview, that means in this the mode of television is used for asking the question. That means in survey method overall the purpose is the knowing the attitude or the viewpoint or the opinion of the person. ठीक है, in personal interview क्या कैरेक्टरिस्टिक है, बेसिकली यहाँ पे एक इंडिविजुअल के व्यू पॉइंट को आप इजीली कलेक्ट कर सकते हो थ्रू दी अनस्ट्रक्चर्ड और द अनस्ट्रक्चर्ड इंटरव्यू. ठीक है, एक पीपल या फिर स्मॉल ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल यू कैन यूज देयर. बट इन क्वेश्चनेयर सर्वे you can use the wide range of data. If the participants, if the sample size is very large, you can use the questionnaire interview. It is the very less time taking and the money saving also. Okay, telephonic interview at the same time more easier way and it collects through more sample, more data. ठीक है, इसके थ्रू भी आप बहुत ज़्यादा लार्ज सैम्पल है अगर आपके पास तो आप उसका सर्वे इजीली कलेक्ट कर सकते हो टेलीफोनिक इंटरव्यू के थ्रू. बट देयर आर सम लिमिट्स. फॉर एग्जांपल टेलीफोनिक इंटरव्यू में जो सामने वाला पर्सन आपको इन्फॉर्मेशन दे रहा है दे मे बी फेक. ठीक है, देयर इज़ नो वैलिडिटी एंड नो रिलायबिलिटी ऑफ द रिस्पॉन्डेंट आंसर्स. Okay, so these are the few limits of this type of surveys. So the method of observation have been discussed earlier. This method is also used for conducting survey. So basically these are the questionnaire and the interview. The two methods are basically used whether it is a personal level, whether it is a with a large sample, okay, or the mode of telephone. The recent survey methods are online surveys. ठीक है, कोविड-19 के टाइम पे भी और इसके पहले से भी बेसिकली कुछ सर्वेज ऐसे हैं जो ऑनलाइन कंडक्ट किए जा रहे हैं. यू हैव टू गो द गूगल फॉर्म. आपको गूगल फॉर्म पे जाना है या कुछ ऐसे इन्वेंट्रीज है. यू क्लिक जस्ट URL, क्लिक जस्ट अ लिंक एंड द पेज इज ओपन एंड यू हैव टू गिव देयर रिस्पॉन्स. ओके, ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ रिस्पॉन्सेज यू गॉट अ स्कोर. ठीक है, so this is a new kind of survey method which is online survey. Okay, so the survey method has several advantages. Let's look at the advantages and disadvantages. So basically advantages of survey method is, first of all, information is carried quickly and easily. This is very easy method. And second is quick to conduct, very less planning required, very less expertization is required. Anyone can conduct survey. Okay, so it is very quick to conduct. Third is highly accurate prediction. This is basically for opinion and the attitude. So if the candidate give their response by own, then definitely the answer, the results are very much accurate. So highly accurate prediction. These are the few advantages of survey method. At the same time, survey method is very easy and the less time and money consuming, very easy to conduct. Okay, so let's look at the disadvantages of survey method. So basically in the disadvantages section, the first one is inaccurate information may be provided because this survey method are basically conduct in a large population, in a with so many people, with a larger group. So definitely they give response in a socially desirable manner, or maybe they not do serious responses. ठीक है, they take it very lightly. So inaccurate information may be provided. Respondent के through जो information आ रही है वो sometime it is very inaccurate, it is not right. Next is sometime people response which they think researchers want to hear. Okay, they know researchers would want to listen, so they are responding accordingly. So this is the second disadvantage of survey method. Last one is result are useful when respondent are true representative of universe. The basic you can say the basic root or the basic pillar of survey method is that you select a proper population, a proper sample. जितना बेस्ट आप सैम्पल सेलेक्ट कर पाओगे, the survey is more reliable and accurate. दैट्स मीन द होल थिंग सर्वे मेथड का कितना ज़्यादा इफेक्टिव होगा उसका टोटल जिस्ट होता है आपके पॉपुलेशन सिलेक्शन में, आप कहाँ से सैम्पल सेलेक्ट कर रहे हो, दिस इज द मेन रूट. सो रिजल्ट आर यूजफुल व्हेन रिस्पॉन्डेंट आर ट्रू रिप्रेजेंटेटिव और यूनिवर्स, वो एकदम ट्रू रिप्रेजेंटेटिव हो जिस भी आप सैम्पल के लिए, जिस भी आप कम्युनिटी या जिस भी एरिया के लिए आप रिसर्च कर रहे हो उसके लिए एकदम ट्रू रिप्रेजेंटेटिव सेलेक्ट होने चाहिए. सो उसका जो रिजल्ट आएगा वो बिल्कुल एक्यूरेट आएगा. Okay, so this is all about survey method. There are 3 type of survey method: the personal interview or the questionnaire survey, and the third one is telephonic survey, and the recent upcoming method is online survey. Okay, and these are the advantages and disadvantages. Let's look at the next method, which is psychological testing. Basically, in psychology, the basic concern of psychologists are the individual's differences. That's mean how the individual are differ from each other. This is the basic concern of psychology. So assessment of individual differences has remained one of the important concern of psychology from the very beginning. And psychology from the psychologists have constructed different type of tests for assessment of various human characteristics such as intelligence, personality, aptitude, interest, and so many other things. So these tests are used for various purposes such as personal selection, placement, training, guidance, diagnosis. So many purposes are there for using this type of test. In multiple contexts, including educational and institution, guidance and clinic and industries, defense establishment, and so forth. Have you ever taken a psychological test? Have you ever feel the psychological test? Have you ever conducted? So if you have, you might have seen that a test contains a number of questions called items. The questions are in psychological test is called items, with their probably responses which are related to a particular human characteristic or attributes. So it is important here that the characteristic for which a test has been developed should be defined clearly and unambiguously. So and all items, the questions should be related to that characteristic only. You might also notice that often a test is meant for a particular age group. So it may or may not have a fixed time limit for answering the question. So these are the basic characteristic of psychological test. These are basically measure so many attributes of individual. For example, intelligence, aptitude, personality, interest, values, so anything. And it is basically so many purpose, for clinical purpose, for diagnostic purpose, for selection purpose. So many purposes are there also. And third one is the question which are written in a psychological test is known as items. And the last important thing is the items are basically designed for that particular attribute which are aimed to assess. Okay. So technically speaking, a psychological test is a standardized and objective instrument which help in knowing one's standing in a comparison to other. That means a single attributes which are comparing or the knowing in the comparing to other. This is the psychological or standardized and objective instrument. ठीक है, साइकोलॉजिकल टेस्ट क्या है, वो बेसिकली एक स्टैंडर्डाइज एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव इंस्ट्रूमेंट है जो कि हमें हेल्प करता है किसी इंडिविजुअल के किसी एक या मोर देन वन एट्रीब्यूट्स को अंडरस्टैंड करने में, एट द सेम टाइम उस इंडिविजुअल को दूसरे इंडिविजुअल से डिफर करने में. ठीक है, उसकी एक आइडेंटिटी फाइंड आउट करने में साइकोलॉजिकल टेस्ट एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट की तरह रोल प्ले करता है, वो हमें हेल्प करता है. ओके, so basically there are few qualities of psychological test. Let's see, which is used to assess an individual's standing in relation to other or some mental or behavioral characteristics. So two things are worth nothing in this definition, objectivity and the standardization. Okay, there are two things. The first one is objectivity and second is standardization. So we have to need here to understand these two concepts. First of all, objectivity. Objectivity refers to the facts that if two or more researchers administer a psychological test on the same group of people, both of them would come up with more or less the same value for each person in the group. That's mean एक टाइम पे अगर दो रिसर्चर एक ही इंडिविजुअल के या ग्रुप ऑफ इंडिविजुअल के लिए कोई टेस्ट कंडक्ट कर रहे हैं तो मोर और लेस ऑलमोस्ट सेम वैल्यू पॉइंट पे वो दोनों ही रिसर्चर पहुंचेंगे. दैट्स मीन उन रिसर्चर्स की जो क्या कह सकते हैं पर्सनल चीज़ें हैं, ओके, जो पर्सनलाइज थिंग्स हैं उनकी, वो उस पर नहीं आएगा. दिस इज नोन एज सब्जेक्टिविटी. द डिफरेंट द जस्ट अपोजिट ऑफ ऑब्जेक्टिविटी इज नोन एज सब्जेक्टिविटी. तो उन रिसर्चर्स की सब्जेक्टिविटी उसमें नहीं इंटरफेयर करेगी. द टेस्ट इज more or less objective because the both researchers are come up with the same result, almost same result. So in order for a psychological test to become an objective measure, it is essential that item should be worded in such a manner and that they communicate the same meaning to the different readers. दैट्स मीन आइटम दैट मीन जो क्वेश्चंस हैं उनकी जो लैंग्वेज होती है, जो वर्ड सिलेक्शन होता है, वो इस मैनर में होता है कि वो कल्चरली इन्फ्लुएंस ना हो और उसकी जो मीनिंग आ रही है वो एम्बिगुअस मीनिंग ना हो, ऑलमोस्ट सेम मीनिंग आए. ठीक है, दैट्स मीन कोई कन्फ्यूज़न नहीं होना चाहिए. वो क्वेश्चंस आर वेरी मच क्लियर एंड कम्युनिकेट द सेम मीनिंग टू डिफरेंट रीडर्स. सभी रीडर्स को वो सेम मीनिंग कन्वे करनी चाहिए. So also the instruction to the test takers about how to answer the test item should be specified in advance. That means the instruction should be in a written and well planned manner. ठीक है, जो भी आप या verbally दे रहे हो या written way में दे रहे हो, जो instructions हैं that are most clear and in a planned way. So the procedure of administering the test such as environmental condition, time limit, mode of administration should be spelled and the procedure for scoring of the participant response need to be described. That means these are these aspects. For example, the administer जो sample है, हमारा जो procedure है, जो environmental condition है, physical condition है, time limit है, मोड ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन है, इंडिविजुअली एडमिनिस्टर किया जा रहा है, ये ग्रुप पे किया जा रहा है, वो सारी चीज़ें, और किस वे में आपको कैलकुलेट करना है स्कोर्स को, किस तरह से उनके रिस्पॉन्सेस को नोट डाउन करना है, ये सारी चीज़ें वेल प्लान्ड, वेल डिस्क्राइब होनी चाहिए. ठीक है, तो जब आपकी टेस्ट की प्लानिंग प्रॉपर होती है, सारी चीज़ें प्री डिसाइडेड हैं, रिटन फॉर्म में हैं, कोई कन्फ्यूज़न नहीं है, सारी चीज़ें वेल डिफाइंड हैं, तो डेफिनेटली जो स्कोर आएगा हमारा वो ऑब्जेक्टिव होगा, क्योंकि उसमें रिसर्चर्स की सब्जेक्टिविटी इन्वॉल्व ही नहीं होगी. रिसर्चर्स ओनली द फॉलो द प्रोसीजर, द एडमिनिस्टर मोड, ठीक है, द स्कोरिंग जो कि आइटम्स या स्कोरिंग मैथड जो है वो सारी चीज़ें प्री डिसाइडेड है, उन्हें उसी वे में करना है. तो देयर इज़ नो सब्जेक्टिविटी, इट इज़ ओनली ऑब्जेक्टिव टेस्ट. नेक्स्ट, द कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ अ टेस्ट इज़ अ systematic procedure and involve certain steps. When a test is constructed, there are some steps which the researchers are followed. So basically these steps are reliability, validity and norms. Okay, so it involves detailed analysis of item and estimating reliability, validity and norms of the whole test. Okay, so first of all, ये जो 3 concept है which is very new for you, and I know you have to suffering so much difficulty to understand these type of concepts, but you have to try. So first of all, reliability. What is the reliability? Reliability of the test refers to the consistency of scores obtained by an individual. Let's look at the definition. So the first concept is reliability. Reliability of the test refers to the consistency of scores obtained by an individual on the same test on two different occasions. Okay, how it is different with objectivity? Objectivity simply means जहाँ पे दो रिसर्चर इन्वॉल्व हो रहे हैं और एक ही इंडिविजुअल या ग्रुप ऑफ इंडिविजुअल का टेस्ट दो रिसर्चर्स कंडक्ट कर रहे हैं और वो सेम आंसर पे पहुंच रहे हैं, दिस इज़ योर ऑब्जेक्टिविटी. एंड रिलायबिलिटी दैट्स मीन एक ही इंडिविजुअल या ग्रुप ऑफ इंडिविजुअल का जो टेस्ट लिया जा रहा है. सपोज आज हमने एक टेस्ट लिया और सपोज इंटेलिजेंस का टेस्ट लिया एंड अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस टेस्ट हर और हिज IQ लेवल इज़ 120 एंड आफ्टर अ वीक same test will be conducted and the score is almost the same. That's mean the 120 IQ. This is known as our reliability. That's mean individual score on a same test on two occasions are same. जब आप टू टाइम इंटरवल पे टू ओकेजन्स पे सेम इंडिविजुअल का टेस्ट दो बार कंडक्ट कर रहे हो और मोर और लेस आप सेम आंसर पे पहुंच रहे हो, सो दिस इज नोन एज रिलायबिलिटी एंड इट इज़ लिटिल बिट डिफरेंट फ्रॉम द ऑब्जेक्टिविटी. ओके, for example, you administer the test to a group of students today and re-administer it on the same set of students after some time, let us say 20 days. So if the test is reliable, there should not be any variations in the scores obtained by the student on the two occasions. That means the two time period or the two obtained that's mean two occasions. Okay, so for this we can compute test retest reliability. Okay, there are basically two type of reliability, test retest and the split half. Okay, this is the two type of reliability. First of all, test retest reliability, so which indicates the temporal stability or stability of the test score over time. It is computed by finding out coefficient or correlation between the two sets of score on the same set of person. Another kind of test reliability is called split half. So first of all, test retest क्या है? Which indicates the temporal stability or stability of the test score over time. Temporal that's mean the time. दो टाइम पीरियड पे जब आपका टेस्ट दो टेस्ट लिया जा रहा है तो वो अगर सेम है तो दिस इज नोन एज retest reliability. Why? The first day conducted one test and the same test is retest by the individual. So this is test and retest. एक बार टेस्ट लिया गया फिर अगेन वही टेस्ट लिया गया and scores almost the same. That's mean the test retest. Second one is split half. As you know, the split half that's mean the same test score is divided in two parts. Split half same half कर दिया जाता है. Okay. So in split half reliability, it gives an indication about the degree of internal consistency. ठीक है, वो वहाँ पे temporal consistency थी in the test retest reliability and in their split half method there is a internal consistency. That means the consistency between the items in the questions. So in internal consistency of the test. So this is based on the assumption that items of a test, if they are from the same domain, should correlate with each other. That's mean अगर जो क्वेश्चंस हैं, जो आइटम्स हैं, वो अगर किसी पर्टिकुलर एक ही एट्रीब्यूट्स को असेस कर रहे हैं, so definitely they are correlated with each other. This is the assumption of split half reliability. So if they are from different domains, appeals and arrange, then they would not. Okay, so for finding out internal consistency, the test is divided into two equal halves and employing odd even methods. For example, item 1, 3, 5 in one group and the item 2, 4, 6 in another group, and correlation is computed between the scores of odd and even items. Okay, for example, आपने एक IQ का टेस्ट कंडक्ट किया, ओके, जिसमें 100 आइटम्स हैं. 100 आइटम्स दैट मीन 100 क्वेश्चंस हैं. ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दिस 100 क्वेश्चंस ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ इन 100 क्वेश्चंस के जो स्कोर्स आ रहे हैं उसके बेसिस पे आप IQ कैलकुलेट कर रहे हो. सो आप क्या करोगे, फॉर कंप्यूटिंग स्प्लिट हाफ रिलायबिलिटी you have to divide this test in odd even format. That means the item number 1, item number 3, item number 5, item number 7 are in one group, and the item number 2, 4, 6, 8 in another group. ऐसे ऐसे करके आप 100 आइटम्स को डिवाइड करोगे और ग्रुप 1 और ग्रुप 2 के बीच में कोरिलेशन कंप्यूट करोगे ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ स्टैटिस्टिकल फॉर्मुलेशन. ठीक है, और इसके बेसिस पे जो आपका स्कोर आएगा, दिस स्कोर शुड बी show the reliability score. Okay, so this is the another type of method which is used for computing reliability of a test. Our next concept is validity. For a test to be useful, it should also valid. Okay, validity refers to the questions, does the test measure what it claimed to measure. Simply means about the validity, that means टेस्ट जिस पर्पस से, जिस गोल से कंस्ट्रक्ट किया गया है, एग्जैक्टली वो उसी डोमेन को, उसी एट्रीब्यूट्स को मेज़र करता हो. ठीक है, दैट्स मीन एक इंटेलिजेंट टेस्ट ऑलवेज इंटेलिजेंस को ही मेज़र करेगा. अगर वो पर्सनैलिटी, वैल्यू, इंटरेस्ट को मेज़र कर रहा है, दैट्स मीन दिस टेस्ट इज नॉट वैलिड. जिस पर्टिकुलर एट्रीब्यूट्स और द ग्रुप ऑफ एट्रीब्यूट्स के लिए वो बना है, कंस्ट्रक्ट किया गया है, वो सिर्फ उसे ही मेज़र करे, स्पेसिफिक हो वो उस पर्टिकुलर कैरेक्टरिस्टिक के लिए. दिस इज नोन एज वैलिडिटी. दैट्स मीन द वैलिडिटी रेफर्स टू द क्वेश्चंस, डू द टेस्ट मेजर व्हाट इट क्लेम्स टू मेजर. ठीक है, जो चीज़ वो मेज़र करने के लिए क्लेम करता है, बेसिकली उसे वही मेज़र करना चाहिए. दिस इज द वैलिडिटी. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, if you have constructed a test of mathematics achievement, whether the test is measuring mathematical achievement or for example language proficiency or maybe other any attributes, so that means the test is valid if the test is measuring only the mathematical achievement. And finally, next topic is norms. So a test become a standardized to when norms are developed for the test. The test is become standardized when the norms are developed for the test. So mentioned earlier, norm is the normal average performance of the group. Norm, that means the average performance of a group. The test administered on a large number of students, their average performance standard are set based on their age, sex, place of residence, etc. ठीक है, so according to age, according to sex, according to place of residence, इन सारे बेसिस पे हम नॉर्म्स कंप्यूट करते हैं या नॉर्म्स का मेज़रमेंट करते हैं. ओके, सो बेसिकली नॉर्म्स क्या है, एक एवरेज स्कोर, एक किसी ग्रुप का, जिस ग्रुप पे हमें वो टेस्ट कंडक्ट करना है, बेसिकली उस टेस्ट उस ग्रुप के लिए जो उसका एवरेज स्कोर है, जो उसका मीन स्कोर है, इट इज़ नोन एज नॉर्म्स. Okay, so this helps us in comparing performance of an individual student with other of the same group. It also help us in interpreting individuals' scores obtained on a test. So these are the three characteristics of standardization. There are two concepts in the definition of psychological test. Psychological tests should be objective and the standardized. So you can understand the meaning of objectivity and you can also understand the meaning of standardization. The three basic features of standardization, that means the reliability, validity and the norms. Let's see the concept of standardization. That means the uniformity in the conditions of administration of the test, including the test instruction, procedure, manual, scoring, time limit, etc. is called standardization. That means the uniformity, a fixed format of procedure, instruction, method which are using scoring method, time limit, मतलब जो भी आप कर रहे हो उसकी प्लानिंग फिक्स्ड होगी. दिस इज नोन एज स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन. एंड द थ्री बेसिक फीचर्स ऑफ स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन इज reliability, validity and norms. That means a test is गुड साइकोलॉजिकल टेस्ट और द वैलिड साइकोलॉजिकल टेस्ट किस बेसिस पे कहा जाएगा? ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ देयर ऑब्जेक्टिविटी, देयर स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन, द रिलायबिलिटी, वैलिडिटी एंड नॉर्म्स. Now look at the types of psychological test. First of all, on the basis of language, on the basis of use of language, there are three type of psychological tests. First one is verbal, second is non-verbal, and third one is performance. So in verbal test, there are using language in a written or a verbal form, and in non-verbal test, basically the use of pictures, the symbols, okay, the use of any pictures and symbols basically. And in performance test, you have to do something, for example block designing, for example match the pictures. So this type of performance you have to do. So these are three type of tests: verbal, non-verbal and performance test on the basis of language. Next classification is on the basis of difficulty level. On the basis of difficulty level, there are two type of psychological tests: speed test and the power test. Speed test, that's mean the time limit. The questions are very much easy, but there is a time limit. You have to give the answer of the question within a time period. Okay, this is the speed test. And second one is power test, in which the questions are set in a difficult so in power test, the difficulty level is increased from low to high. Okay, so lesser difficulty questions are in beginning section, and the difficulty levels is increased according to questions. This is the power test on the basis of difficulty level, and there is a no time limit. Another classification of psychological test is on the basis of administration or the mode of administration. So in which there are two type of psychological test: individual test and the group test. Individual test, that means basically conducted in a one person at a time, and the group test, which is conducted a group of people at a time. Okay, so these are the another classification of psychological test. So if we can evaluate the psychological test also, the merit and the demerit. So obviously the features, that means the reliability, validity and norms, on the basis of this we can decide the merit and demerit. This is very much specific, and the logical test and the scientific also. And if the reliability, validity, norms and objectivity are less, then the test should be not achieve their goals. Basically this is the demerit of the psychological test. Okay, so this is all about the psychological test. Thank you class.